Located in southern Alberta is Cardston, a small farming and ranching community. This is one of those rare small towns featuring a world-class exhibit. The Remington Carriage House has the largest collection of horse-drawn carriages in the world, a 20-acre complex with 63,000 square feet under roof for displaying over 270 different styles of buggies, wagons, coaches, sleighs, harnesses, an 80-seat theater, wedding rooms, video displays, gift shop, an extensive wagon rebuild shop, working horse barns with Clydesdales, quarter horses, and the Canadian carriage horses, various daily carriage rides, and many summer outdoor activities, to mention a few. Starting at the large gathering area, one can venture into many trails, seeing the Old West with chuck wagons, buckboards, stagecoaches, and wagons. Also are included New York Society, Victorian, Parisian, and coaches used by royalty and kings. One doesn't realize all the different modifications to horse-drawn carriages there were. Many of the buildings have 2 levels of carriages. Of course, a display would not be complete without the distinctive barrel-shaped honey wagon or the sleighs. One area the Remington Carriage House for is world famous is their rebuild shop. They can completely refurbish a carriage from top to bottom using all the original materials as possible and make lost or damaged pieces, including a large wheel shop. Looking at this carriage at the left is how the carriage arrived at the shop, and the right half shows how it was refurbished. This is a lost art, and these people are true craftsmen. There were several areas displaying different types of harness and tack. We were early for the season, and most of the horses were still out in the pasture. A tour of the horse barns and other facilities was most enjoyable. Don Remington, a self-made man from depression poverty, was a successful rancher and construction man building bridges in southern Alberta. For over 35 years, he and his wife, Afton, traveled North America and Europe, buying and shipping carriages home to restore. During the slow winter months, he restored 47 carriages. This is a must-see for those interested in how people traveled before the auto was invented. The fort was built in 1874 as the first outpost in Western Canada for the Northwest Mounted Police, later changed to the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. The location of the first fort was too close to the river, and in 1883 a new fort was built, replacing this original fort, which has now been fully restored. The offices, special rooms, and barracks are now turned into displays of the early Army and social life on the frontier. In 1869, the U.S. Army decided to stop the alcohol trade with the Indians on the reservations across Montana. In December of that year, 2 American traders built a new trading post near the site of Lethbridge called Fort Hamilton, which later became known as Fort Whoop-it-Up and became the most notorious of the 44 trading posts built in southern Alberta. The important commodity was a whiskey concoction of 9 parts of river water, 1 part of pure alcohol, to which was added a plug of chewing tobacco for color and a can of lye for more taste. Alarmed by the activities of the whiskey traders, the Prime Minister formed the Northwest Mounted Police to bring about law and order in the West, and in October 1874 they reached Fort Whoop-it-Up and immediately put a stop to the whiskey trade. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police are also noted for their equestrian precision drills, as Bev is talking with one of the girls working on her routine. Here is the first-hand and actual close-up history of how the Royal Canadian Mounted Police were formed.